The Wisdom of Sirach 23. A prayer for wisdom.
23? Oh, a prayer for wisdom. I love prayers in the Bible.
Orthodox
Holy
Bible.
Spirit, please guide me. 23:1. A prayer for wisdom. O Lord, Father and Master of my life, do not leave me to their counsel, nor let me fall because of them. Who will set whips over my thoughts, and the disciplines of wisdom over my heart, so they may not spare me in my errors, nor neglect me in my sins? Lest my mistakes be multiplied and my sins abound. Then I would not fall before my adversaries, and my enemies would not rejoice over me. O Lord, Father and the God of my life, do not forgive my haughty eyes, but turn me away from evil desires. Do not let gluttony or lust overcome me, nor give me up to shameless souls. Warning to children. Chapter 23, verse 7. My children, hear the teaching of my mouth, for he who keeps it will not be conquered. A sinner will be overtaken by his lips, and a slanderer and arrogant man will be made to stumble by them. Do not accustom your mouth to vows, nor make a habit of using the name of the Holy One. For as a servant who is continuously beaten will not lack bruises, so also he who makes a vow and continuously names the Holy One will never be cleansed from sin. A man who swears many oaths will be filled with lawlessness, and the plagues will not depart from his house. If he offends, his sins will be on him. And if he overlooks it, he has sinned doubly. And if he swears it in vain, he will not be declared righteous, for his house will be filled with trouble. There is a way of speaking comparable to death. May it not be found in the inheritance of Jacob, for all these things will be far from the godly, and they will not be involved in sins. Do not accustom your mouth to lewd expressions, and for this is a sinful speech. Remember your father and mother when you sit in the council with great men, lest you forget yourself in their presence, and by habit act foolishly. Then you will wish you had never been born, and you will curse the day of your birth. A man accustomed to abusive words will never discipline himself as long as he lives. Men of Sin, chapter 23, verse 16. Two kinds of men multiply sin, and a third kind will bring down wrath. A soul heated like a burning fire will not be quenched until it is consumed. A man whose whole body is given to fornication will not cease until the fire burns out. To a man who is a fornicator, all breeds is sweet. He will not grow weary until he dies. The man who transgresses against his marriage bed says to himself, "Who sees me? Darkness encircles me. The walls of my house hide me, and no one sees me. Why should I be afraid? The Most High will not remember my sins. His fear is the eyes of men, and yet he does not know that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, and that look upon all ways of men, and observe even the secret places. Before all things were created, everything was known to him, and the end of all things is also known to him. The adulterers will be punished in the city streets, and where he does not suspect it, he will be seized. Woman of Sin. So also woman who forsake her husband, and brought in her by another man. And for she first disobeyed the law of the Most High, and second she transgressed against her husband, and third in her fornication she committed adultery, and bore a child by a stranger. She will be brought before the assembly, and there shall be a visitation of her children. Her children will not take root, and her branches will not bear fruit. She will leave behind her memory as a curse, and her disgrace will not be blotted out. Those left behind will know there is nothing better than the fear of the Lord, and there is nothing sweeter than to give heed to the Lord's commandments. Amen.